Okay, we're here tonight with all the W's, independent hype global. Tonight we're with a young lady from Yonkers, New York, via Detroit, Michigan. If you bought the album Serendipitous Experience back in 2003, and you bought your Big Soul in 2017, you know we're here with Irene Renee. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Not too bad. Thank you so much for spending time, taking the time to speak to us here in the UK. It's been a big year for you. Let's start off with a simple question. I ask everyone this question. So, independent artist, specialist kind of music, neo soul, new soul, soul jazz, new jazz, independent soul. Where do you bracket it, or do you just don't bracket it at all?
As I'm creating, or after I'm done, what category do I put it in?
Overall, either.
So, I'm old school. I just throw it in there with rhythm and blues, R&B. So I've heard people compare it to neo soul, soul. So I just, when you have to categorize it, when you're getting ready to sell it, what do I go to? I jump for the R&B.
Okay, that's good answer. Good answer. Love the first album. Love the conscious lyrics on the first. We spoke about that earlier on about the conscious, but it was the second album that blew me away. Unpredictable, big song over here, and it was #1 on the Breaking Artists chart that I present for 4 weeks solid.
Okay.
So well enough election. So I've got to ask you about that. Who wrote the song?
So I wrote it along with a co-writer. His name is Zoye Ohisa. So we collaborated on that and wrote it together. And background singing, of course, Gilby Small Jr., who's also a producer on the album, he did some background singing. Zoye also helped to do the background singing along with writing the lyrics. For that one, you have to my memory. Gilby Small produced the music for that track.
So, as I said, I love the first album, the second album. So, let me ask you a question. So, you're a singer and a songwriter. So, just walk us through the process. How long did it take to sort of from the first song, through to the album being finished? How long did it take?
Oh, goodness. Ooh, that's a good question. So if this probably take the entire interview to answer this question. So I'm going to try to shorten it up. Okay, so if I'm thinking about the very first album, Serendipitous Experience, that was in 2013. So I would say that with everything going on, finding music for it, and that's why I named it that, because I have a friend who's a producer, and while I was writing the song with another producer, coming up with the music and the lyrics and all that stuff and recording, I didn't have enough songs, right? So I was like, oh my God, I need more songs to round out this album. So I went one day, I was just cleaning, right? And I looked in the closet for some reason, cleaning products or whatever. And I pulled out this bag and I started going through it, and I saw these discs in there, and it said Marcus, right? Whatever was on there. And so I popped it in my CD player, and there were these songs, and I'm like, oh my God, I have music. I can write to this, So that's why I named it Serendipitous Experience, because it was serendipity, a lucky discovery by chance. So I wrote to those songs. And so he, college buddy, did music when we were in college. And so he got off into producing actually music. And so carried him forward on Ubiquitous Soul. So saying all that to say, it takes some time to come up with the music, the lyrics, recording. So from 2013, right, I released that first album September 2013. So when you think about it, 14, 15, 16, 17, it took almost 4 years. Well, the first year, first year and a half, you're trying to still promote your old, and you're doing live shows. And so then you start to get back on, okay, well, let me start trying to write some more, get more music. And so then, it took that amount of time before I could release my second album.
So you're there in New York, and then someone like me in Europe reaches out to you and saying, your music's doing really well over here. People are loving the music. How does that make you feel?
It's an indescribable feeling, right? When anyone notices your craft, something that you've put your heart and soul in, it's an amazing thing. You know what I mean? So it's just joy. It's appreciation that you feel, and it gives you that extra oomph to kind of keep going forward. You know what I mean? So it's like, somebody likes my stuff. Somebody like it.
Following on from that, someone reaches out to you and says, we want you to come all the way from New York to UK to perform. And that culminated on 29th of October at the Jazz Cafe.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Oh, you know what? I don't really have any words. That was an amazing experience. I mean, just for many reasons. One, it being my first trip overseas in that direction over the Atlantic. Two, just a great city. Just the reception, the love. It was, the band was amazing. It's like I want to come back for the band, you know what I mean? And just have another wonderful show. The people, meeting you, just that, that is intoxicating.
One of the things about that night that stood out for me, and it must have, hopefully it stood out for you. You're singing one of your songs, Unpredictable, for example. And then the whole audience is singing.
Knowing the words?
Yeah.
And that's every singer's dream.
Yeah.
Right? No one wants to be on stage and, people start turning their back to you, walking off, holding their own conversation. So when people know your lyrics, oh my gosh, I mean, what more can you say? I mean, that's an amazing thing, that you put something out there that people love, that can connect. They can connect with the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? And that the lyrics mean something, and that they grab hold of that. Not only the musical, beats and all that stuff, that catching the ear, but the lyrics. And another song that people really, really loved was Smile. And that's one of my favorites. And I did Running that night. So those are some powerful songs as far as the lyrics are concerned. If you really listen to it, they're jam-packed with meaning.
So let's know a little bit more about Miss Irene Renee. So I've got a couple of questions that hopefully they may be one-word answers, they may be, but let's see how you do them. How do you relax? How do you unwind away from music?
How do I? Woo! Really? You really want to know? Listen, okay, all right. Okay. So I can be silly. Listen, there's two things, right, that have come into my world that I am like, I can't even say enough about it. One, food, okay, but not just any food. Like, okay, listen, there is this place here in New York. It's in New Rochelle. So those people that will see this video or interview, there's a place in New Rochelle called Rock and Ramen. Have you ever heard of ramen noodles?
Yes.
Right. So that was college. That was the poor folk way of eating, right? When you miss the cafeteria and it closed, you would have your little bag of ramen noodles and you get the hot water, right? And it's just, the salt content is crazy. And, it's something that you should not eat. But Rock and Ramen is the adult version, more sophisticated type of ramen noodles. Let me tell you, every Thursday, I'm trying to get there. Now, I didn't do it today because of you, Tex. Okay, so you are the reason why I didn't get my Rock and Ramen soup today.
Yeah. All right.
So, yes, that is one of those Zen moments that I have. I go in the restaurant, I put my order in, I get it, and I come home and I put on my pajamas. And I eat it in front of the TV. Now, something that I do that I shouldn't do is that I eat it while watching MSNBC. So that's enough to stress you right there. So the news, so don't eat your rock and ramen in front of the news, okay? Find a movie and just chill. But no, that's one of the things that I absolutely look forward to week to week.
Favorite color?
You know what? I think I'm in the earth tone, right? The browns, the fall colors, the orange, yeah, earth tones, green, well, the greenish tree, like, stuff like that.
Okay, you're going to say neither to this either.
You know me already.
New York, right? You're in New York. Bloomingdale's, Tiffany's, anything on Fifth Avenue, or is it something in the hood? Where would you?
You say in the hood.
Where would you
Listen. Look, direct me to the sales rack. I don't think that there's a sales rack in Tiffany's.
No.
So I think Tiffany's is out.
Yeah.
Bloomingdale's, they have a sales rack, so I'm good.
Okay.
Right? You got to give me a good sale.
Right. Now I've got to say, this is me saying my little piece to you now. One of the things I love about Miss Irene Renee is your head tie.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like a trademark. We expect to see it.
And they don't take it off.
No, I'm just saying. It's always there. It's you always coordinate with what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Is that intentional? Is it just?
So the history behind it is, like, when I think about it, I think my mother influenced me when I was younger. Like, you pick up things that you really don't know why you do it, and then if you give it some thought, you can probably find somewhere in your childhood that you're exposed to it. So my mother wore head wraps when I was younger. So after I got older, experimenting with all weaves and braids, and my father was against perms, right? Mm-hmm. So eventually I got out of the perm and started going natural, right? Natural hair stuff. And so I started to incorporate more head scarves on my head. So I have this I took a photo shoot a while back, and I had the head scarf, but I had like a ponytail out of there. So it just kind of, like, I started like really getting interested in the scarves. And so I would buy them. And so, like, I have like this whole thing of them because I started experimenting. But the thing that kind of like pushed me over to the other side of completely wearing scarves is that I started to lock my hair.
Right.
And so anybody that started the locks, right, they know that first 6 to 12 months is unruly, all over the place, right? So I had this interview, right? And so I didn't want to go on this interview with my hair standing all over my head with these locks. So I put on a full, I wrapped it like this, right? And so I felt it was very professional. Still, I got the job. And so it's just been, I stopped locking it. I took the locks out. But this wearing the scarf held. And so it just became part of my everyday use. I mean, I every day, if it's not a scarf, I wear a cap. It's easy for me. A lot of people are intrigued with it for not all of the right reasons. I mean, people, do you have any hair? And I'm like, yes. Just because I don't show it or choose not to show it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's just, this is me, so yeah, I until the day I feel that, I don't want to, I've been doing it so long now, it's just second nature. It's very comfortable, easy, right? So for Black women, our hair, it's a task in and of itself. I mean, you can have a full-time job, right, doing your hair. And so that part has been, I need to be it has to be easy, right? And this is easy. I don't have, of course I do the for cleanliness,
Yep.
wash my hair, condition it, all that stuff. But Lord have mercy. It's me, y'all. That's me. That's me. Till further notice.
It's been really, really nice talking to you.
It's been awesome talking to you, Ted.
Time's against us now.
Yes.
Before we go, would you like to tell anyone who's watching this video how they can connect with you?
Yes, all social media. I'm 3. Okay, I'm not on Snapchat yet. SoundCloud, you can't find me there. So Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I can do those 3 and not lose my mind. So everything's simple, Miss Irene Renee.
Oh, it's simple, right. And to anyone watching this video that hasn't bought Ubiquitous Soul, go out and buy it because it was my standout album of the year. It's been
Thank
really fun speaking to you. And one last thing, what's the best website for supporting independent artists?
independenthype.global.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.